I haven't filmed a YouTube video in what feels like forever, and I feel like every time I start filming again, I say that. But ideas are hard, and thinking is hard. Timing is hard. So, we are here today, we're gathered here today to talk about the fact that I got into RISD. If you know me personally, you know this is a pretty big deal for me. I've been talking about wanting to go to RISD for what feels like forever. I used to be in charge of taking photos of my grandpa when I was younger. So I don't know, ever since then I've just been kind of into photography and such. So in 6th grade, that's when I was like, fuck it, I like it so much, let me try and make it a career. And here we are. Not a career yet, but. So anyway, the point of this video is to show you my accepted RISD portfolio because I got into RISD. Did I mention that? I feel like I forgot to mention that. I got into RISD, y'all, what the fuck? Kind of nervous as shit though because I've never really been challenged in my like photography or like my creativity or my talent, I guess. I've always just kind of been very confident in my art, but now I'm gonna be in a place where it's gonna be filled with like the best of the best. Fuck, like, I'm gonna have to like deal with people being like good at art. I don't think I'm ready, like I'm so nervous. I also wanted to mention that along with RISD, this portfolio somehow got me into Mass Art, Wheaton, which are both in Massachusetts, and Pratt Institute, which is in New York. So if I can do it, you can too. I'm gonna be showing y'all what I submitted for my portfolio because I had no help. I've never really made a portfolio before. I went into this whole thing blindly. I feel like I've been talking for like 12 years, so why not just show you my art? So the first piece is titled Break My Own Heart Like I Needed the Practice. This is an edited version of a Post Malone song. If you know me, you know I love Post Malone. I think the original is I always get my heart broke like I needed the practice or something like that. I changed it to mean like I break my own heart because I fall for people who don't like me. So I'm only gonna read the bio if I want to make sure I don't miss anything in the photo. This self-portrait explores the patterns I tend to fall into, patterns of loving people who can't feel the same way towards me. It sometimes turns into a sick game of seeing just how much I can take until I learn my lesson. The lipstick stains represent the number of times I've been forced to practice self-love after a long time of tending to an unrequited feeling. Kiss Me Better is a plea for someone to give me something I can't give myself. I was very sad. Okay, moving on to the next one. I've been talking for forever. So this next piece is actually from one of my favorite shoots. The title is Good God. My work is heavily inspired by non-visual things such as music, my personal journal entries, and even a single word. In the song Greek God by Conan Gray, he sings Good God in a way that makes me want to roll my eyes as I sing it. This reminded me of growing up in a religious family and how claustrophobic it felt to be told who and how to be as I was trying to figure it out for myself. The extreme close-up represents how confined and restricted religion can make people feel sometimes, while the eye roll represents my annoyance towards extreme expressions of religion. You know, it's a complicated thing. I don't want to get into it. Next.
Next caller! Next caller! Next caller! Cause you ain't talking about nothing, bitch. Next caller!
The next piece I really fucking love. The title is Hurts Like Heaven. So my work is heavily inspired off of like dreams and memories and like nostalgia and stuff. And I've found out that I have family members with Alzheimer's, and it's so scary to think about like you could develop that as you age and you'll forget everyone's special to you and everything's special to you, and that shit's fucking terrifying. I feel like that's why I'm so obsessed with like recording everything and just the whole idea of like memories. I love the feeling I get when I look at my photos most of the time. Sometimes I be having my days where I'm like, damn, you fucking suck. But anyways, I don't think there's much to say other than I love memories. Yeah, so I'm obviously majoring in photography, but I feel like in your portfolio it's really good to include like other art forms that you do or like you practice. I sketch sometimes, like in my journals. I'm not the best, but like you can make crappy things look cool. The title is literally just sketch collage, going through faces. It's kind of like a play on going through phases. I just took pictures of all my sketches in my journals and I just like edited them onto one photo on Photoshop. They love when you acknowledge how you're not a god at everything. Like, you have your strengths and you have your weaknesses. They love that shit. So in this piece, I basically talked about the process of like taking the photos and then editing them to make them look like they were like scanned or whatever, because I don't have a scanner. By saying that, I also showed that I have a lot of knowledge in Photoshop editing. So yeah, moving on. So this was at a park over the summer, and I don't know what I can say about this photo. It's just like a classic, like the story I give these two people is like they were longtime friends. They lost contact and then they met up at this park one day and they're just like catching up on a, like walking across a bridge. It's just very scenic, romantic, I guess. It's like a very romantic photo, but not really like romantic as in couple, romantic as in like friendship. I'm just talking out of my fucking ass. Next. So this is from the same shoot as the photo Good God. The title is Love is a Picture of You, and you know, just like a group of 4 best friends in a picture frame. When I first took this picture and I edited it and stuff like that, I was really happy with it, but now the shadow of the frame at the bottom, it's too gimmicky and I just wish I would have like not added that. But other than that, like I'm pretty happy with the photos. The colors turned out beautifully in my opinion. And also I think it's good to include reference. If you drew it out beforehand, the photo, which I do for most of my photos, include that because they love to see like process of like what you're doing and stuff. So in this piece, I took the opportunity to talk about how I sketch everything very loosely so that way no idea is like too set already. Like I can always shift things around if I need to. So this is a continuation of the last photo, Love is a Picture of You Part 2. So this is one of those photos where it came from a word. I was having a conversation with a friend and she had said the word dimension, and for some reason that sparked this idea of like someone in a frame, and we were talking about how like paintings have eyes that follow you, and I was like, oh, that could be a cool photo idea. And like the arms are reaching out in desperation, like they're just like, they look helpless kind of, in my eyes at least. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this photo. I actually like it better than the part 1 of it. The next piece is Seeing the World Through Blood-Colored Glasses. We all know the phrase seeing the world through rose-colored glasses, I hope. And the photo is a subtle nod to the gun violence that goes on far too often in America. Seeing blood rather than seeing rose essentially translates to actively seeing the thousands of lifeless bodies, students, people of color, and LGBT+ people. It becomes hard to stay positive when so many negative things are happening right in front of us. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's just like seeing life through like all the blood and like the fucked up shit that goes on. And like I think I took these photos when like all the school shootings were happening, and yeah, they happen like every day, but it was like back to back, I remember, and it was just like, damn. This next piece, I kid you not, I'm so in love with it. Safe Like Springtime. This piece is of my 2 best friends, Esme and Eileen. Hi. I decided to use a light reflector to remove as much contrast in the shadows/dark areas as possible. This gave the image a really beautiful translucent look to it where it feels like you could almost see through the subjects. I often refer to this piece as a Valentine photo because the arms form the shape of a bow and arrow, which reminds me of Cupid and his love arrows. It's just one of those photos where you can look back on and they can look back on and you could be like, wow, remember youth? I also talk about using a light reflector to remove shadows and shit. That also like tells them this kid knows like how to use photography terms, I guess, and like photography shit. Always find an opportunity to show them that like you're good at something else rather than just the shit you're trying to show them. This next piece is Pretty Mama So Stitches Into Her Broken Hearts. It's a Billie Eilish lyric. This is one of those pieces that I kind of bullshitted. I really liked it, but it didn't really have any meaning at the time. Like I just took it because it just looks appealing to me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I kind of regret including this piece in my portfolio, but it's called Butterfly Boy Gave Me Butterflies. This self-portrait captures a very few positive things that come from falling in love. The feeling of your stomach sinking when seeing the person you're madly in love with is extremely bittersweet, although for me, the feeling can become addicting, thus leading to dependency, immediately turning what's supposed to be a cute and positive thing into one of my biggest flaws. Moving on, I hate this one. This piece is one of my many of Irene. Hi, if you're watching, which I know you are. The title of this one is I Don't Want to Remember the Days with You. In the middle of heartbreak, I photographed one of my close friends, Irene, who shows up in a lot of my work. I feel comfortable exposing and expressing my emotions to and through her. There's just something about this photo that I really love. Like, you can't really make out where her face is. You have to really look. My fucking back hurts. The next one is another one of Irene. It's called Joy. Joy is having a conversation with the photo prior. After discussing how I was feeling, I felt a wave of relief rush over me, so much so that I felt a little lightheaded afterward. The photo of the ocean in her hair represents the wave of relief I had felt in the serene sense of getting negative words out of my mouth. I felt euphoric. I think, along with a lot of people, this is one of my favorite photos ever. The title is I Hope Your Grass is Greener. I hope your grass is greener is responding to the classic proverb, the grass is always greener on the other side. It's my way of wishing someone a fruitful outcome while subtly expressing how my outcomes weren't so. Essentially saying, I hope you're doing well because I'm not. Yeah. So sad shit. Are we seeing the trend with my art? Moving on. This is also from the shoot with the frame. It's called Maybe We're Meant to Be Alone. So in this bio, I basically spoke about how photography, the business of photography, is becoming way more about like vanity and such rather than like expressing yourself. And I voiced my struggles as like a photographer who doesn't really look for vanity, I guess. Like, I want to express my ideas, and if they include vanity, great, but like I want to express an emotion, I guess, with my work. Oh my god, I'm over here trying to sound so professional. Fuck that shit. I'm basically saying like, fuck you if you just take pictures of pretty people. That's not a skill. I'm gonna be petty because I'm so sick of reaching out to models, telling them my ideas, and then them just being like, can I just get a simple photo of my pretty face to post on Instagram? I get it, it's not their fault, but it's also like, I work really hard to come up with ideas and shit. It's just really hard coming across people who are like into my ideas and also are willing to like model. So much appreciation for whoever like does that type of work. Next, this next piece is titled Am I Something That You Can See Through? And in the bio, I'm essentially saying, I'm gonna be transparent with you, like I'm gonna treat you how you treat me. I'm gonna be nice to you or whatever, but the second you start wasting my time, that's it. It's a wrap. Like, that's when you cross the line. If you take advantage of my niceness and waste my time, you will not get the same respect and niceness as you once had with me. Like, I'll come back as a different person in my mind somewhere. I'm gonna just immediately connect your name to just don't fuck with this person, just disrespect this person. Moving on, I'm wasting my own time. So I wanted to start this series, but then Corona fucked my life up. It's called Portraits of a Close Friend, and this one just happens to be of my very few selection of guy friends. I have very few guy friends, but am I okay with that? Yeah. Because guys are kind of ass, whatever. I wanted to photograph my friends because I'm all about memories and such. So I want to be able to look back at these photos and just think like, these were my friends. Like, that's how we looked when we were, you know, young and like we look good and shit like that. And I wanted to add like elements of like everyday shit. So there's like a radio in the back and like, this is my kitchen and like a glass of juice. Like, you know, random shit. I don't know, I just really fuck with this photo. He ate it up. Fenglin, you look good. I'm gonna say it, you look good. Moving on. Ah, shit. My battery running low. Fuck. If the whole angle changes, I'm sorry. This piece, the title is Keep a Place for Me. It's a Frank Ocean lyric. I also talk about how, you know, I take a lot of my inspiration from music and just like the vibe of the whole song. So my camera cut off because my SD card got full. Wow, YouTuber problems. Also, I think you can see it over there. Right there. Whatever. I just spoke about how music inspires a lot of my work. Actually, pretty much like 90% of my work is inspired off of music. Another one of Cecily. Damn. It's called Hazard Nights. I posted this recently on my Instagram, actually. Go check it out. So this piece is called Even Though It's All Your Fault, You're the One I Run To By Default, Part 1. It's a Bazzi lyric. So this photo, it was very much in the moment. I had gotten home and it was just a really tough day. I felt heavy, like everything just felt awful, and I just like laid in bed, and being honest with you, I cried for like 2 hours, and then I got up and like the lighting from my window looked really cool because the neighbors' lights were on, and I was like, fuck it, let me take a picture, and I just laid back down and like cried again. So yeah, that was the result, and I really fell in love with like the ambiguity of what time of day it is. It looks like it could be like early morning and the room is just dark. A lot of raw emotion in this photo, and I don't want to look at it anymore. This one is a continuation to the part 2. There were 3 parts, but I didn't feel like including all 3 because that's wasting my space. Just shows like, you know, me fucking around with cameras and just fucking around with like shutter speeds, so I mentioned that, knowing my shit. And we've reached the last piece of my portfolio. It's called The Date with a Friend. It's a short video which is actually up on my YouTube channel, go and watch it. I was sad one day and I like asked my friend Feng Lin to like hang out with me, and he agreed. So we went to the beach and I decided to film the whole day, and I really loved how it turned out. Like it felt like a movie, and it like really established the vibe I wanted to give off with my work. And I also spoke about how long I've been editing videos for and my knowledge on video editing and stuff, just to again express I know more things than just photography and I have like other skills. So yeah, that was the last piece of my portfolio. And now I'm just gonna tell you guys a couple of like tips I discovered while making my portfolio. The first thing I would say is definitely ask your friends for help, because I couldn't come up with bios for forever until I asked my friends. The second thing is to not start off with your strongest piece. Here's why. They'll get bored. They will. Trust me, I get bored looking at my own shit. If I were to start with the best and like progressively make it worse, I'd get bored. I'd move on. I'd be like, okay, I saw his best, moving on. But if you like put your favorite, your best as your second photo, you know, they'll be like, oh, that first photo was pretty good, and then the second photo will be like, woo. It'll make them want to keep going because they're not really sure if you have like work scattered through your portfolio, so they'll finish viewing your whole body of work. Because if it's just gonna like be a slope and it's gonna go from good to bad, like they're gonna get bored by like the third photo. Third thing is, if you really do not like a piece, don't submit it. Don't submit it to like fill up the required space, I guess, in your portfolio. Because how I am right now, I look back and I'm like, I could have used this space for a stronger piece. You don't have to use all the portfolio space. Like, you can submit however much you want. And sometimes more isn't always better. You could have a really strong portfolio, and then there's just like one piece that you could have just not included that could have like elevated it so much more. Anyway, I'm sure I forgot a whole bunch of shit I wanted to say. I will try my hardest to create more content, I guess, especially now, because I know y'all bored. I know y'all bored. I am fucking bored. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, I guess. Subscribe if you like. I will actually post more, I swear, I promise. I kind of have to. I have nothing to do. Am I forgetting anything? I said thank you for watching. I said leave a like. I said subscribe. Oh, follow me on Instagram and shit, like fucking Dan Elliott. Follow me over there to see more photography shit and just my day-to-day life, because I post a lot on my story, which is a problem. But yeah, thank you for watching. ×2.
Still got niggas on the line.